Coming soon to PC, leaps Buster's Big Score, a 2D indie platformer developed by Sky Pirate Studios, which sees the titular Buster stealing cash and gems of all shapes and sizes whilst avoiding capture from the authorities. Leap, slide, kick rubbish bins at guards as you quickly try and get that big diamond at the end of the level. This is one of the titles that caught my eye at last year's Sage, so I'm happy to finally get a chance to play it and see what I think about it. Now, just a quick note, this is based upon a demo build that only contains one level, so if you see a lot of footage in the background that looks a little bit familiar, that's because I played through this several times to get as much footage for this as I could do. But with that said, let's get to the positives. Buster's Big Score contains a really solid core gameplay loop which is topped off with some really tight and easy to grasp controls. The aim of the game is to get to the end of the level, avoiding damage and collecting money and hidden gems as you go around. The preview gives a nice flavour of how the levels in the final build will no doubt go, with a control scheme that offers a great deal of flexibility with how you deal with certain issues. Maybe you'll run past the guards, maybe you'll try to hide, maybe you'll try to stun them. The choice is yours, and how you get around them has this great sense of flexibility here as to how you deal with these different things. The visuals are crisp and the animations have a sweet level of character to them, with it all having this fine balance between making sure that stuff is well animated enough to give it character, but is never overly animated to the point where it feels as though it's wasting time. The visuals, like I say, are bright and colourful, but are never so overly bright or too busy that it interrupts the gameplay. And lastly, the soundtrack to this level is honestly great. I mean, sure, when I come to do these previews and reviews, you don't get to hear the soundtrack due to, well, in no small part, copyright and access to the soundtracks at hand, but here what we get is sparky, jazzy, with an almost hip-hop infused flavour to it, which really feels nice and gives this really just light, bright energy to the whole affair. With that said, however, let us get into the negatives, and I feel that I just don't like the tutorial text in this preview build. The tutorial text is next to non-existent. Sure, when you play the game there are these prompts that will appear within the level telling you what move to use, but it never actually tells you what button to press to do those moves. Yes, if you press the pause button you'll see a picture with all the button prompts on them, but it feels as though this could easily be something done within the game itself, seeing as the prompts are already there. Sure, the controls themselves are fairly easy to pick up and are fairly intuitive, but I really don't see why they couldn't at the very least have the button prompts within the text in the level itself and not just on the pause menu. Sure, this isn't some kind of fatal flaw with the game itself, it is an issue that no doubt will be dealt with come the final release or even just a more up-to-date demo at some point in the next few months. My second issue is that the hidden gems within this demo build are a little bit too well hidden. I mean, yes, that's the point, there's supposed to be a challenge here, these aren't supposed to be things that you just stumble upon, but even still, it feels as though the effort taken to hide them is a bit much. Usually when you have these things in other games, there'll be something of a challenge connected to it. It would be in areas that require very specific jumping patterns or require you to be very eagle-eyed when it comes to finding them. And here, well, in the case with at least the first gem that you have to find, it's one of those things that you would never have thought about it because there's just no indicator for it being there. There's no kind of hint or aspect of the level to that point to give you the suggestion that, hey, maybe it's hidden within a building, especially bearing in mind there's nothing within that building's texture to suggest that you can actually go into it. Yes, finding these bonus gems is supposed to be a challenge, but I always feel that when it comes to video games, there's a fine line between a challenge being fun and it being a tad too obtuse for its own good, which certainly feels the case with some of the gems within this preview build, as at certain moments it feels more like that problem that I have with the classic Doom games, which just feels as though you're rubbing yourself up against certain textures and hoping for the best. Maybe a better tutorial, slightly better level design would have made it feel a bit more intuitive when finding it. With that said, it is not a fatal flaw, just more of an annoyance that I really wish wasn't there, and I hope isn't going to be a sign of things to come with the final build. With that said, I'm still looking forward to Buster's Big Score. I do wish the demo was longer, but what we do get here is a nice slice of gameplay that is showing a lot of promise. Let me know if you played this one down in the comment section down below, let me know if you're excited for it, let me know, and be sure to like and do all the YouTubey stuff that YouTube wants you to do. Thank you all for listening, thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye! Thanks for watching, be sure to like, favourite, subscribe, click the bell and do all the YouTubey stuff that YouTube wants you to do. Go on, it'll do me a power of good. Until next time, my friends, goodbye!